Welcome. My name is Alita St. James, and I am broadcasting from New York City, Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan. Kind of like the urban shaman here. It's been really interesting going through this pandemic and doing a broadcast every week, because I'm hearing from so many people that it's really like the wind underneath their wings. It gets them out of depression, anxiousness, because there are spiritual tools plus the transference healing energy that I do that gives them the lift for them to keep on keeping on when it gets really tough. And lately it just is getting tougher and tougher and tougher, even though things are opening up. Also, some of the numbers are going up, and people have to adjust to this whole new paradigm now with let's, take a chance and let's see what happens. And there are people that are still not secure about what's going to happen in their future. People that are feeling like, am I ever going to be in a relationship? Many of you could be feeling that right now as I'm talking to you, and that my future looks bleak. Well, if you've been listening to the videos, we've been working with you so that you shift your focus on what you want to create, not what's not happening. And when you go up into the spiritual energy, like I call it the miraculous, some people feel that it's the universe, God, the God of your understanding, whatever that is, the source, that's the place that creates the miracles in your life. And you need to feel that you are good enough, worthy enough to hook into that higher spiritual energy, and that you deserve to receive the connection from your higher spiritual energy to its physical being, you. This whole time where we've really been in quarantine and we've really been able to look at what's important to me in my life. I'm hearing from so many people, I don't feel like I have to work so hard. I don't want to work so many hours. I feel like I want to enjoy myself. Actually, I really think I need a relationship. I don't like this loneliness and isolation of not being connected to another person. Or I really want to have children. Or maybe I don't want to have children and I thought I did. And my finances, maybe I don't need as much money as I thought. Or maybe actually I feel like I want to create more abundance in my life. Wherever you fall, it's fine, because we're all different. Maybe you want to go to Europe. Maybe you don't want to live in the United States. That's great. Then what you need to do is create it, get behind it, believe in it, and start from the power of now. We cannot create what we want to do in the future with the wounds and the traumas that we have in the past. It's just going to short circuit us. And why does it short circuit us? Because there's belief systems that says, no, you can't, you're not worth it, it's not going to happen for you. That as soon as you start to dream and you start to go into a higher frequency, the subconscious starts coming up because it doesn't believe that to be true. In my work, we get them connected, your subconscious and your conscious mind, in congruity with each other, your heart center and your mind in congruity with each other, so that you're working in single-mindedness. If you have your subconscious saying to you, no, you can't, and your conscious desire is driving you forward, you won't be able to quite get the steam to do what you really want to do. So what we want to do in this section is go, okay, if I shift my energy from low density, fear, not trusting, not believing, and having a very resentful, angry feeling about things, if I shift that to the high frequency energies of love, creativity, solutions, spiritual unity, all those wonderful things that can expand in our life, then I've got a shot. I have a total shot of changing my life for the better as I move into the future. The power of now. Eckhart Tolle. Be here now. Very, very important. If you're in the present and you're moving from the present with a positive attitude about yourself and your future, that is exactly what you're going to create. If I can tell you how many times clients come to me, I go through it myself, especially in this isolation and this pandemic, where it feels like you're walking through mud at certain times because you don't have access to things as quickly. You don't have things that can like stimulate you, bring up your, your happy feeling, like going to a restaurant, meeting friends, all those kinds of things that used to like awaken us, give us like, all right, we're going to do that on Sunday, give us a future. Now that's kind of like dimmed, and we have only ourselves, and to go deeper inside of ourselves to feel that happy place. That is your real power. No matter, even if you're in a relationship and it's the love of your life and it's your soulmate and it's a twin soul, your power is in what you feel about yourself, separate from that person. When that person comes into your life, it expands your life, her life, his life. It doesn't make up for lack of what you're having. Because then if that happens to you, that person, and nobody can promise they're not going to hurt you. Can't do that. If you fall in love with somebody, you know that at some point you're going to feel hurt. At some point it's going to feel like you're on separate paths, especially if you've been with each other for a really long time. Because everybody's changing and growing, especially in this time right now. And sometimes you feel like you're coming together, and sometimes it feels like your paths are separating. But you can have separating paths that winds up connecting again. Maybe you just need to go on your way or to discover yourself in a different way. And you can't do that in the relationship. You need to do that by yourself. Or you can do it in a relationship and it makes you more powerful. But only you know by experiencing that what's right for you. And then you make that decision. So while we're absolutely 100 million % in our present, the power of now, and from there we're looking at ourselves and we're going, do you know, when I have a bad day or a bad situation, something's not working out, do I take myself down that rabbit hole and start being negative and hopeless? And if somebody is really hurting my feelings, do I keep on revolving around what they said and germinating on it and why did they do this and etc.? And then that's my consciousness. That's what I'm creating in my life. We all do that to a certain extent. I try to do it now in nanoseconds or minutes. I'll sometimes explode and then it's over. And then I'm moving on to shifting up. Because I know if I shift up, I'm creating in that miraculous vortex, that vortex of manifestation, what I want rather than what I don't want. Now, the thing that came to me before I was talking to you in this broadcast is that if you look at your lifeline from when you were born to where you are right now, Wayne Dyer wrote a book, I Can See Clearly Now, that he wasn't going to write this book, right? He had written his last book. I think he wrote 45 or 50 books, many of them bestsellers. He had it with the writing of the books, all right? And then all of a sudden it came to him what his life was about. And so then from the beginning all the way up to every single thing that he did in his life, he clocked it. And then he could see, that's why this led to that, and that led to this, and this person led to that person. And that's why that didn't happen. And when I took a chance, my whole life changed. And when I started writing, a whole thing opened up for me. It was miraculous in terms of all the different things you can think about right now from when you started from an embryo, were born, until this moment in time, how much you've evolved. Now, I know with my clients, with myself, the people that I've been working with, and people that are watching my videos, if you're working on yourself, you have to give yourself acknowledgement and gratitude for how far you've come. Often our brain just goes, yeah, I've got that, but then I have to get this. but if I don't get this, I won't get that. And the secret is in appreciation and gratitude for how far you have come. When I look at the panorama of my life, I think I've lived about 7 lifetimes in one lifetime right now. And since I'm going to live to 120, maybe there'll be 7, 8, or 9 more. But the fact of the matter is that with every single experience, with the schooling and, the show business and the going to Europe and the having a rock and roll band and then moving into spiritual energy and then directing, deciding to have children, writing film scripts. I mean, it just goes on and on. Helping people, taking them on spiritual journeys into jungles, the top of Machu Picchu, all those exciting things that add to the tapestry of my life. It's so easy to forget that you've done them because you've done them. So I'm asking you and inviting you to look at your life and the tapestry of your life and say, oh my goodness, look what I actually completed. And even if you went through a divorce and this relationship didn't work and this and that or whatever, it's not like you're a failure or a loser. It was there to learn a lesson. You wanted to grow through it, get to the next experience with it. If you're feeling in any way a failure equals loser, then you're not looking at your life properly. And that's the energy that you have to shift. And understand it's not about not failing. Babe Ruth had the most strikeouts and the most home runs because he was ready to get up there and make some mistakes. Oprah was talking about, things that she believes in, and she'll be the first to say, I made some mistakes. I can look back and go, whoa, what was that about? But that's how you grow through them. And she's certainly on top now, but she couldn't have gotten there if she wasn't willing to make the mistakes. I'm certainly on that track. I've made certain things that were detours rather than, straight destinations. But the detour can lead to the destination. You can read that in the ruins. Ancient wisdom. Detour leads to destination. So there's never a wrong move. You can make things much harder in your life than you really need them to be. And I want you to really look at that and say, do I have to make it this difficult? Do I have to feel that I have to struggle in order to prove that I deserve to receive? Can I just allow myself to feel good about myself, appreciation, feel gratitude, and allow myself to receive? Because the more I receive, then the more I can give. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And it goes back and forth that way. So this is like an inventory of your life that's very, very important for you to take right now. It is crucial for you to look at yourself and say, I want to shift my energy in this moment to self-love and self-appreciation and movement to something where I can connect to the divine, to the miraculous, to my higher spiritual power that's within me now. Once I do that, then I feel like I'm empowered in my life to create magic and miracles. And if one day feels like it's boring, I breathe into it. I move into appreciation and gratitude. I move into that happy place inside of me. And then what I can feel like is, hey, you know what? Right now, it's really okay. Right now, I'm fine. The power in the moment. And then just know that everything isn't always on fast forward. Many times it's like the seasons. It's time to hibernate. It's time to have spring. It's time to have winter. It's time to have summer. Those are all different seasons. That's the I Ching. All different seasons will bring us into different experiences in our life if we know how to move through them. So take a deep breath in now, through your nose and out through your mouth. And take another deep breath in now, through your nose and out through your mouth. And then I want you all to imagine that there is a violet sun 6 inches above your head, surrounded by gold energy. And then as you're breathing in, this rays of this violet sun, surrounded by gold energy, comes in through the top of your head and goes through your entire body. And you can feel that it molecularly shifts there. Breathing in, feel the light, and breathe out. And breathe in, feel the light, and breathe out. And then call on your guides, guardian angels, beings of light, the God of your understanding, the miraculous, whatever it is, that's the word that really turns you on to something that's bigger than yourself, that can give you that empowering feeling. And then feel like you're opening up to receive that energy, because that energy is your higher spiritual self, your soul that wants to work through your physical body. But you have to welcome that. You have to feel that you deserve that. And you have to understand that that's shifting your energy to a place of high manifestation, the miraculous, the power of God, the universe, and all there is. So once you get that energy going inside of you, I want you to focus in on your heart center, because your heart center transforms energy. It's the emotional body. So breathe into your heart center. Feel that violet and gold light. Think of someone or something that gives you that feeling of love that you love so much, and then give that to yourself. And that's very important when things are negative and not going the way you want, to take a moment, shift the energy into connecting to yourself, into the divinity in yourself and the love you have for yourself, and the appreciation and gratitude for you. That will shift your energy in a nanosecond. The more you practice it, the more it happens. Breathe. Feel the light. Now, because the light also brings up its opposite, if there's anything that you feel that you're holding on to from the week or the whole pandemic or this whole situation that's going on in terms of Black Lives Matter, racial unrest, justice that needs to be done, I want you to feel it in your heart, because all these things are coming to the surface so that we can have spiritual unity and solutions that I talked about. Solutions are the only way that are going to help us through this, and spiritual unity. And we need to grow to be those people that are vibrating at a high level. So take a deep breath in, right in the heart center, and see if there's anything that you're holding on to. Confusion about why this is all happening right now. Feelings of unrest inside of yourself. Feelings of not understanding where you're going in your future. And maybe feelings like you're disappointing yourself or other people. Whatever those low frequencies are, we're going to lift them up. Breathe. Feel the light. Hold those thoughts for the count of 5. Surround them with the light and the breath. And then exhale. Feel from the bottom chakras, the first, second, and third. Those are our survival chakras. I want you to breathe in and feel that white pearl that I've talked about in certain broadcasts coming up from the bottom chakras, first, second, and third, all the way up to the heart center. And see if there's things that are really deeply hidden, that there's regrets, things that you wish you would have done. life blueprints that you're holding on to that says, I should be here at this particular point, I should have been married, I should have a great career, I should be living in my own home. Whatever the shoulds and the life blueprint is, maybe for you it hasn't happened. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's your destiny. Your brain and what you've seen as a child created that life blueprint. We're hooking into your destiny. So if there's anything like that coming from the lower chakras, we want to release it, burn it out into the love and the fire that's in your heart center. So take a deep breath in, and here we go. That's a really important one I want you to think about. We all have visions of how things are supposed to be, how we thought they were going to be, and many times they don't happen that way. So I always say, okay, God, universe, surprise me. Take me to the next level where I'm supposed to be. It's that book, When God Winks. You set up an intention, and then you have to let go. That's why I wrote the book, Life Shift, Let Go and Live Your Dream. Because if you hold on to how you think something's supposed to happen, you stop the magic. You have to turn it into the super consciousness, become supernatural beings, places you couldn't even imagine, things you couldn't even imagine that would come into your life. You're opening up the doors for that cosmic energy to work, that quantum field where there's no limitation. Down here in the density, where we put our life map and the blueprint of how we think things are supposed to be, and if they haven't turned out that way, many people lose hope in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or whatever, instead of winding up and not down. Every moment that you're alive on this planet should be an opportunity to engage in life and to say, okay, what's my best moment for today? How can I feel empowered? What's the best that I have to give today? And just live it. And certain things will turn out and certain things won't. And maybe the kids will be great and maybe they won't. And maybe some particular financial situation really makes you feel stressed out. Take a deep breath and release it and see the opposite happening when you move into the vortex of that miraculous manifestation. Okay, now we're going to practice and do that, all right? Because we've cleared the energy systems, and now we're moving from the bottom all the way straight up, pineal, and then we're going to go straight up to that vortex of manifestation that I want you to be able to get to quickly. If you practice this, like I can get there in a nanosecond. I think of the word miraculous and I'm there. I want you to get a word. You do the technique, but then get the word and you'll see, you'll be there. And when you're there, then you can actually start split screening. I'm feeling horrible, blah, whatever that negative thing is, hold it, release it, and then go up. So you're never in denial. You're never pretending things aren't happening, but you're shifting the energy so that you're shifting into the power of the now and your future. And then you will become a manifesting superhuman that maybe you weren't in your past. But with this whole pandemic and things being so difficult, you are being challenged to step up. And I'm challenging you to step up and practice, because the more you practice and the more you do this, the more you become the being that is your higher self. And then it's not behavioral modification, it's who you are. And once you get to that level, there's myriads of other levels to get to. But we need to get to that higher level, especially now with what's going on in our world and our planet. We need to shift ourselves up, our friends up, the planet up, so that we're hitting our highest potential of what our destiny is. That oneness, that joy, that fulfillment, that success that is promised to be ours in the physical. It's not all about struggle and denial and injustice. It's about breaking through and taking everybody to that higher level of spiritual consciousness in the present and moving into the future. So think about that. You have a destiny and a purpose and a passion that is many times higher than what you give yourself credit for. Just open up to it and know that you are a super being and you are special and magnificent. And there are things that you can do that no one else can do, and that people need your presence as you need theirs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to feel that white pearl coming up from the tailbone. You're going to breathe in through your mouth and through a straw in your mouth, oxygen, air, all the way up past the lower chakras, into the heart center, all the way up through the throat, into the pineal gland, and then we're going to hold that energy with the breath, and then you're going to keep on moving up. And when you're up into that vortex, I want you to start to feel the magnificence of who you are, the appreciation and gratitude for what you've done in your life. And then from there, just allow yourself to dream your future as if it's already happening, coming from the things that you're desiring now in the present, which could have been very different than 3 months ago or 4 months ago. I know for me they've changed. So be the change, ride the wave of change, embrace the knowledge of who you are right now and create that paradigm, that person that is your higher spiritual self on a higher level coming through you to be all that you can be. I'm going to use the drum, and I want you to do that a few times with the drum, and that'll help empower this energy. All right, take a deep breath in, and here we go. Pearl at the bottom of the tailbone goes all the way up to that higher frequency. Just feel the energy, imagine, feel good, bring it back down into your body. Here we go. While stay in that vortex, feel the energy going down through your body, and then repeat after me. This is the mantra from Connie Newton, my teacher, who's on the other side. She's with us today, smiling. I am the light. The light is within us. The light moves throughout us. The light surrounds us. I am the light. Now I want you to feel this energy, because it's a transference of energy, that it's like a battery charger. So the more that you watch this and the more that you take it into your cells, the higher you're going to go in your frequency. And then it's going to become second nature to you. So I want you to work with this, work with the other videos, work with other people who are spiritual teachers and masters. And go. Crystal's decided to say goodbye to you and join us at the end of this meditation and inspired messages. So I want you to just work with this, connect with it, feel joyful and happy, and understand that as soon as you shift the negative energy, clear it, and move up to the higher frequency of what you want, that's when you're going to feel happy. That's when you're going to feel good. And that's when you start to create the power of an amazing future through the happiness of now. All right. I'll see you next week. My love and blessings to you, Alita St. James. Say hi, Crystal. She's a love. We love you. Mwah.